No, I don't think I played my best tennis today for sure, but I have to give her credit. She played really well. The dynamic of the match was a little bit weird for me. I felt like I didn't take my opportunities in the first set, which was kind of a waste, and it gave her, I think, a lot of confidence, and she really came up with the great shots, when she needed with the big serves, which I actually never seen her serve like that before, so that's definitely a big improvement from her side. But I'm glad that I could turn the things around. In the second and third set, there was more me playing, more finding the rhythm. I felt much better in the third set than in the first set, which is, going, you know, hour past the 2 hour mark. It's pretty good, so I'm happy with that. I think I closed the biggest gap in that area for sure. I think overall my physical ability, my tennis is improved as well, but the gap between the mental and tennis and physical was the biggest improvement for sure.
Tough matchup next with Anna. Just talk about anticipation of that.
Yeah, Anna is a great player. She really improved, I think especially this year she's been showing some consistent result. We had a great match in Carlsbad. It was my first tournament after coming back, so she's definitely in great form. I'm sure she's motivated and pumped up, so it's going to be a good match. She's a great champion as well, so looking forward to that.
You showed a little frustration on one of the line calls. Why was that moment so frustrating for you?
Because it was ridiculous. That was the most ridiculous thing there is. After we already, I walked to my chair. Alize almost walked to her chair. They say replay the points, so it definitely didn't affect her shot because she already gave that, point. So that was ridiculous call, and the ball was way before the line. It wasn't even on the line. So.
Igor, do you still think like when something like that happens, how long are you thinking about it the next point, or is it easy to get over it the next day?
No, I have to get over it. I mean, everybody can make a mistake. I just think, in that heat of a moment like that, you will take it a little bit more emotional than maybe there is because, that situation you're winning a set or you have to replay the point, which is, clearly you already won that. So, but no, I just really tried to refocus and fight for the next ball because I knew I had to make it happen. I need to put myself in a position to be, one set all again.
This is going to seem like kind of a funny question, going back to the beginning of the year and the infection that you had from your toenail from that bad pedicure.
Mm.
So two parts. One, how long did it take for that issue to be finally cleared up? And how differently have you taken care of your feet since that happened?
Well, I haven't gone back yet to a regular pedicure place, that's for sure, and I'm still terrified to do that. But there was something unusual because it happened before I came to Brisbane, while I was playing actually in Thailand, and I could cope with the pain a little bit. It was going worse and worse and worse, and then my toe was like blew up, and when the doctor told me I have to go and cut under the nail, I almost fainted right there, and they said, "Well, you might be okay for the next day, but probably not." So there was a very tough decision for me to take that, before the semifinal match. But I knew that if I don't take that decision, it will jeopardize my next tournament. So it was tough. It was definitely tough and very unusual. But
And so if you haven't been back to a regular pedicure place, who's been keeping your feet in good shape?
is that a really important thing?
No, I mean, I know it seems like a funny question, but the reason I ask is that as an athlete, obviously taking care of, an important body part like your foot, that's important.
Yeah.
But as a female athlete,
Yeah.
there are sort of certain expectations for how you will look at player parties, etc. And usually that includes painted toes. So I mean, it's a joke, but not a joke.
Well, my priority is my performance, so I learn how to do it myself, or I go to a sport pedicure. Maybe I don't have the perfect pedicure with a French, toenails, but at least I don't have to worry about that.
I think Sarah and Ronnie was talking about pressure earlier this week, just the pressure she feels these days. Do you ever think about pressure and how you deal with it?
I like pressure. I think pressure is something that if you want to be on top, you have to deal with. That's what makes you better. That's what you, you need that to be on top, to be motivated. If you don't have any pressure, if you don't feel, like you have to achieve something, it's not fun. For me, I need that.
You talked about improving from a mental standpoint. Is that something you worked with anybody on? Got advice from someone in particular that helped you with?
Like a psychologist, you talking about? No, I never work with a psychologist. I have people in my team, like my coach, especially. I think he's a very wise man. He's been around for a long time. We have this great communication. He knows me better than probably anybody on a tennis court. So it's just a matter of really understanding what you need to do to make yourself better. You have to find your own recipes, and you go through the tough times, through the bad experience, and that's how you learn. For me, that's how it was.